Dawn had just broken when the official announcement came out of the commander's mouth. After several weeks of various basic trainings, task rotations, and rigorous evaluations, that day became an important moment for Cha Eunwoo. In the middle of the apple field still shrouded in dew, the commander's loud voice echoed, "Starting today, Private Cha Dong-min is officially placed in the security section of the communications and logistics facility." The sentence was followed by a light hand clap from some fellow soldiers, something that rarely happens in a formal Apple atmosphere. Eunwoo stood firmly in the front row, paying his full respects. It was not a big smile that he showed, but a calm expression mixed with a sense of pride. He knew that this placement was not an instant reward, but the result of his discipline and hard work from the first day he set foot in the barracks. The commander explained the reason for the placement in front of the rest of the soldiers. The Cha warrior showed great rigor, responsibility, and adaptability. This section requires people who are not only physically strong, but also meticulous in every detail. Logistics and communications are the lifeblood of our operations. If you mismanage, your life is at stake. Those words made the pitch even quieter. Everyone is aware of how big a role Eunwoo now plays. After the apple was over, he was summoned to the administrative room to receive official assignment documents. That sheet of paper contains a description of the tasks, areas of responsibility, and work procedures to be followed. The commander's signature is clearly printed at the bottom, marking his official status in the position. Eunwoo held the document firmly. For him, this is not just paper, but a symbol of the trust placed in him. Heading to the main warehouse, Eunwoo met several seniors who had long served in the logistics department. They welcomed him warmly while maintaining a professional aura. "Welcome back, Cha. Get ready, here our job is not just lifting goods. Sometimes we have to race against time," said one of the sergeants, patting him on the shoulder. Eunwoo nodded. "I'm ready, senior. I will live as best I can." The day immediately begins with a field orientation. He was taken around to see the storage area, radio control center, to the equipment checking room. In every corner, he notes small details, the position of tools, evacuation routes, to inventory lists pasted on the walls. His serious attitude made the seniors confident that he could be relied upon. By noon, Eunwoo had started to be involved in checking the stock. Boxes containing medical supplies are opened one by one to ensure expiration, portable radios are tested for signal, and spare batteries are checked for shelf life. These tasks may seem simple, but he knows that one small omission can be fatal on the task field. During the afternoon break, he sat on the edge of the logistics truck while wiping sweat with a small towel. Some other soldiers joked, "If out here you used to hold a microphone, now hold the logistics box." Eunwoo laughed slightly. "Yes, but here, each of these boxes is as precious as the stage. The speech makes the atmosphere fluid, builds an even stronger sense of togetherness." In the evening, before going to bed, Eunwoo stared at his bed for a while and then looked out the window. The lights of the barracks flickered softly, and the distant voice of the night watchman sounded faint. He thought about the long journey that brought him to this point. This official placement was a new chapter, and he promised himself to live it wholeheartedly, without half measures. Cha Eunwoo's first day after being officially placed in the security section of the communications and logistics facility began long before the sun appeared. The barracks alarm clock rang at 4:30, but Eunwoo had woken up 15 minutes earlier. His habit of preparing faster than required kept him always at the forefront of discipline. He immediately made his bed, made sure the folds of the blanket were neat and the pillows were perfectly located, and then put on the field uniform that had been prepared since the evening. The morning air was still piercing. A light fog hung between the barracks buildings, but the atmosphere on the ground was already filled with the galloping steps of the soldiers preparing. Eunwoo carried a small notebook in his uniform pocket, a habit he had started since basic training. The book contained notes of work procedures, a list of essential supplies, and little personal notes that helped him remember small details in the field. At 5:00, the morning apple begins. The logistics team commander stood at the front of the line. giving a special briefing for the day. We will conduct a full inspection of warehouse facilities, including rechecking backup communication systems. Eunwoo, you come with me to the control room later. There will be a technical explanation from senior staff. The order was spoken in a firm tone, and Eunwoo responded with respect and a steady nod. After the apple, he followed the commander towards the control center building. Inside, the atmosphere is different from ordinary barracks. The rooms are filled with electronic equipment, monitors displaying maps of the territory and radio control panels. A senior sergeant on duty there explained the function of each piece of equipment. This part is the heart of our communication. If there is interference, we are the first to know and the first to act, he said, pointing to the green signal panel. Eunwoo listened with full focus, occasionally taking notes in his book. At 7 o'clock, he joined another team in the main warehouse. That day, there was a schedule of checking logistics for weekly deliveries. Huge boxes were opened one by one, the contents of which ranged from packaged food, spare uniforms, medical equipment, to armored vehicle parts. Eunwoo held the inventory list, matching each serial number and checking date. When he found a battery box that did not match the number, he immediately marked it and reported it. "Good, you're thorough," commented the senior soldier. A red report card. The joke made his colleagues laugh a little, although the hands still worked quickly. Lunchtime arrives at 12 o'clock. In the dining room of the barracks, he sat with his team members. The conversation goes from serious to lighthearted, from stories of previous assignments to chats about favorite foods. Despite the relaxed atmosphere, Eunwoo still listened, trying to understand the dynamics of the team. For him, building solid relationships with coworkers is as important as carrying out technical tasks. In the afternoon, he returned to the communications control center. This time, the task was to monitor the signal path connecting the main post with the two support posts. He sits in front of the monitor, paying attention to the graph of a steady moving signal. When a signal drop occurs on one of the lines, Eunwoo immediately reports it and helps locate the source of the problem. It turned out that there was a small breakdown of the receiving device at the support post, and the technical team immediately sent a technician to repair it. The sun begins to set when the entire check is complete. Eunwoo returned to the barracks with a slightly heavy step due to fatigue, but his face still showed satisfaction. His first day in this section went smoothly, and he felt that he was increasingly mastering the required rhythm of work. Later that night, before going to bed, he opened his notebook again. On the last page, he wrote, "Asterisk, today it officially starts. Heavy duty, but every second counts. There is no room for neglect." Asterisk, he closed the book, put it in the hanging pocket of the uniform, and then lay down. The light of the barracks was extinguished. Only a dim light remained from the corridor. Outside, the night wind blew softly, and Eunwoo closed his eyes, feeling ready to face the next days. Cha Eunwoo is now officially stationed in a unit that is one of the pride of the South Korean military, a division known for its high discipline and great responsibility in maintaining national security. This placement was officially announced through a statement from the military, which also confirmed that the placement selection process was carried out based on the capabilities, results of training evaluations, and mental assessments of the soldiers. Internal military sources said that Eunwoo occupies a position that combines physical and strategic roles. He not only served in patrol and guard activities, but also played a role in the field of internal communication, given his ability to adapt quickly and clear speaking skills. For a celebrity who has just got into a completely different world of the entertainment industry, this assignment showed that she was able to pass the initial stage of adaptation well. His first day in the new unit was greeted with a small ceremony attended by the commander and his fellow soldiers. Eunwoo is seen marching stoutly, wearing a full uniform with the unit's emblem on his left arm. Although his face still showed seriousness, some colleagues said he occasionally smiled faintly when receiving congratulations. The initial